Alright, so in this video, we will look at how to create a console command which will run through the cron so that we can send out that email at a fixed interval, and it will contain a digest of all the reminders for that particular user to process on that particular day. So let's get started. Go to my PHP Storm. I don't need any of these files. First thing that I would want to do is, let's see, we'll need to create a command. So php artisan make command, and we'll name it send reminder emails. So with that done, what will happen is inside our console commands there will be this new class. Okay, so what do we do here? First things first, we will change this to reminders dot emails or reminder dot emails. Okay, let's say send email notification to user about reminders. Okay, now let's leave the construct as it is and we'll go directly into the handle method. This is the method which will be called whenever this class is being executed. Okay, so what we are trying to do is get all the reminders first. So let's write it down: get all reminders for today. Then we will group them uh, by user. Okay, so we'll need to have an array which has the user ID and all the reminders inside it. Okay, once that is done, we will send email. So let's look at the first part. Dollar reminders is going to be reminder query. Okay, by the way, you don't need to do query, but I prefer that so that my entire query goes into the new line. I could have started with where just about here, sorry. Okay, where anything, let's say I'll be loading it with lead. So with lead, and then where reminder dot reminder date will be now. It's very much the same reminder format, ymd get. And one more additional thing is where status is going to be pending. Okay, we'll need to only send emails for the reminders which are still in pending state. So I can do this, however I'll stick to my convention, which is I'll have query here, and then all my all my functions which are related to that query are one below the other, which helps me with readability. I'm used to this. I find that this is a little more easy to read, and so that's what I follow. Okay, now I'll have an empty array, and we will do a for each reminders as reminder. Okay, typical PHP stuff will say that data reminder user ID. Okay, and a new entry will be reminder to array. Okay, so basically what will happen is, let's say I have user ID 1, it has 3, so user ID 1, and then one reminder will be added, again one reminder will be added, again one reminder will be added, and then we go to user ID 2. However, what I have not done here is for the reminders to come all by user ID. Let's do order by descending user ID, or it can be order by, so that it's ascending, whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just that all the user IDs should be one after the other. It helps. Okay, but anyways, the code will work. So now that the for each is there, we have this data. Why don't we try to check? Okay, for any command to run, we need to add that command here. So send reminder emails class is added here, which will mean, why don't we open a new terminal? We will get a little more space. PHP artisan reminder emails, right? And we do dd data, and we get one entry for this particular user, which is correct because for user ID 1 we have one completed, one pending, and the other one's date was 6th. So why don't we do it this as 5? So which means now I have two entries, right? So this is working. Now the next thing that we would like to do is go to our code editor. Okay, send email, right? So I'll have a function called send email to user, but that will be in a for each loop because I will be iterating the data. If you see, this is 1. Okay, user ID 2 doesn't have any entries, right? It will be easier for you to understand once I have, that a few reminders with the other user as well. So why don't we do that? Okay, I'll come over here. This user doesn't have any reminders, so I hope this we can add. Yes, so JD reminder added. Today's date, and now what happened? I think the dump is gone. Yes, DD data. All right, so we have first one, and then one has 0 and 1, which means array with key 1 has two entries, and then we go to user ID 2, which has only one entry. So as you can see, we will need to do a for each on data. Okay, and this time we'll do as user ID and reminder. Okay, and so this send email to user. Obviously I haven't created that function. We need to do that. So add method. Okay, for now I will not use the type hinting, but yeah, something which I'm still working with. Um, I'm thinking of getting used to that particular thing, which is getting a type hinting so that it is very easy to understand later on what is going as a parameter. Anyways, so user, mm-mm, what was that? No, not http curl user. It's user find $user ID. Okay, and then we do need to send an email. Okay, to generate an email we will also again create a new command. So php artisan make mail, say reminder email digest. Okay, and I will be using markdown. So additional parameter markdown equals, now this is the blade which I'm going to use, blade file. So emails folder, inside emails folder I'll have reminder digest. This done, mail has this new class, and inside resources views emails I have this. So let's first look at the email, or why don't we rather um, complete our function over here. So with the user in here, I want to mail to $user. send new reminder email digest, and I'll send the reminders, which means in this class I'll get reminders. Initialize with a private variable. Don't need those documentations right now. Okay, private, and then in the build function, what I will do is markdown, right? So we are sending this, and we need to pass data. So like any other view, we will do reminders. Okay, so this is done. What is happening is our cron will run. Okay, it will process the data, send an array of reminders to the send email digest. I mean that email class which is reminder email digest, and the email will be sent. Now how will the email look is something which we will control inside our view file, which is going to be created using a markdown file. So we'll come over here. Let's just say you have some reminders, follow up. Below are the details, and in here, instead of mail button or something like that, why don't we do mail table? Okay, that's one more command which component which we have. Now to build a table, I mean you can look at the documentation, but I know, so I'm going to quickly go over that. What we need to do is we define the first header, okay, in with these bars. So I'm saying that the first TD is reminder, the next one is lead name, the next one is phone. Okay, then do a little bit of decoration. This is going to be left aligned, so a colon and then a few dashes, and then this is again going to be left aligned, a few dashes. Okay, left aligned, dashes, at the rate for each, dollar reminders as dollar reminder, and for each. That's done. Why don't I copy this? So the first thing will be dollar reminder. Everything is array, right? So I'll have dollar reminder, reminder. This will print the reminder text. Then dollar reminder. Inside that we have lead, and inside the lead I have name. And then I copy this and only change the phone. Okay. Now one more thing before we get into sending the actual email. Right now our SMTP is set to, okay, I don't have any username password, so I'll add this, correct username and password, so that I can send out the email. You can also use Mailtrap. It's a Mailtrap, right? Yeah, it's a free service which allows you to send emails to a dummy. What happened? Yeah, to a dummy inbox. Okay, and the beauty is that whatever is the to email address, right, it will always come into this inbox. So it is very good for development purposes, because you don't need to worry about emails by mistake going to an actual user while development. Okay, it will always go into this trap inbox. So that's why I like this service. So we will use those credentials and set up our env file, and then we will start sending the emails. Alright, so I have added the new credentials in my env file. I need to serve the application again, just so that the information is updated, because env file changes are not updated on the fly. Okay, so let's quickly go over it. We created, what is this? This is the email. Okay, one more. Oh, okay, yeah. So we created a command. Okay, it is running this query, getting the data, sending this email. This is our blade file which is sending the email, and this is the email class. Now one last thing which I have not done is I need to make it queuable. So should queue, and let's see what is our queue driver. Cache session queue is sync right now. I would strongly suggest to use Redis or maybe SQS, but right now we will go with sync. Okay, and so in here, PHP artisan queue listen, and then we run this command. Let's just quickly finalize that there is no dd, right? So send email. Okay, because it's in sync, it will not go through the queue. Once we have something in the queue, it will. Um, but hold on, I need to show you how that thing looks in Mailtrap, right? So let me open up Chrome. Mailtrap.io. So my credentials are actually stored in here, so I not in Firefox. So I have two new emails. This is one of the credentials which you can get. Okay, you just need to update the proper env files, and that should just work. By the way, don't use them because I will do a reset and that will change. Okay, so um, so the subject is reminder email digest. We can change it, but let's first see what is coming up. So John Doe got an email saying you have some reminders to follow. Below are the details, the body of your message. Okay, we'll get rid of that. Where is the blade file? Body of your message is gone. Or why don't we do one thing? Reminders to work on. Okay, so yeah, this John Doe got only one, which is this JD reminder added. However, I got two. Why? Because I had, in the array, two reminders to work with. So yeah, this is how we created the entire functionality of reminders. Now we have a dashboard where this is the John Doe application. Hey, just realized that this is hard coded, right? So why don't we open up layout.view? What is happening here? Okay, this has a v pre, and so my data was not rendering. What I can do is um, add the username and password inside my service provider as a shared data. Okay, I know it's a little different from what we are doing, but why don't we handle that once and for all, and you know be happy with what we have. So share auth user, this is a function, um, so which means it will be lazy loaded. This is not something which will be available if we don't request for it. However, because this is there in the layout, so typically it will be called every time. But yeah, so if auth user, we return the ID. Okay, just if we need it for any uh, reason, and the name auth user name, which means inside my layout I can do $page dot auth dot user dot name. Let's see, if we are lucky we should see the name, which it should continue to be there. Okay, we don't know whether it is working or not, so go to the other login, and it does change. This is fixed. That's strange. We fixed the dashboard, so why don't we quickly then load dashboard controller, f name last name, why don't we make it name auth user, or rather get rid of this because we are already sending that, right? So I'll get rid of these two variables that were only for demo purpose, so you can get rid of them. Copy this page auth user dot name, paste it here, and yeah, let's see. So we have welcome John Doe. Here we have John Doe, and relog in with this, and we see the correct things. So yes, this is how we managed to get the entire leads with their reminders feature. If you like the videos, do click on the thumbs up icon and don't forget to subscribe to my channel